You're listening to the Kpopcast. I'm your K-pop host, Stephanie, joined by editor PD-님, Michaela.
Yes, hello everybody.
We also have our K-pop DJ, P-Lo.
Hello.
And welcoming special guest, Steven Knight of the Kpop Unmuted Podcast.
Woo!
Hey guys, thanks for having me.
Yeah, welcome, Steven. Oh, and today, that's my line. Today we'll be discussing Red Velvet's Really Bad Boy.
Giving it a thumbs up or thumbs down review and letting you know if this song is daebak or not.
But before we dive into that, let's first dive into our hit replays.
Hit replays are songs we recommend y'all listen to on replay for the week. So, Michaela, what's making you hit replay?
Well, my hit replay for this week is EXID's I Love You. It's super catchy and it's really great to see all 5 members back at it again.
It's like EXID returning to their roots, and it was so close for being my hit replay this week, so good pick, Michaela.
Yes. Love when that happens.
My hit replay for this episode is Yubin's Thank You So Much.
3 O's.
I think it might be 4.
So
At least 3.
Uh-oh.
At least 3. You can never have too many O's. Yeah. Who knew that Wonder Girls breaking up would be such a blessing? I was so disappointed when that happened.
No, just
Did you? Awful. But the solo careers have been so great. Yubin I wasn't especially looking forward to because she was always the rapper of the group, but she has really surprised me. It seems like she has taken on the task of covering all of the disco-inspired retro genres.
Yeah.
And this is such a cool song. It's a really interesting take on the breakup song. I don't think I've ever heard it before. It's sort of like, thank you for being honest, but you can shut up now. One of my favorite lines, hey, too much talker, thank you so much.
I love it.
Love that.
I thank Yubin so much for that song, and it was really over 9,000 according to the scanner that she was wearing.
over 9,000.
Thank you so much.
I love her dance choreography in that music video. It's like, yeah, whatever, boy. And she steps aside and, casts them off and steps to the other side and casts them off. Like, that was my favorite part of the dance choreography in that song. And it was also nearly my hit replay until you picked it, Stephen. So, also, great pick.
Great taste. You've got great taste.
Yeah. All right, Stephanie, your hit replay.
So I think I might be the only one with a male choice for a hit replay. Ooh. This tends to happen sometimes. But I really liked, how do you say his name? Mino from Winner. He just came out with a solo banger called FIANCÉ or Anak Ne, and the video is awesome. So much swag. I feel like he's really swag. He's leaning into that mini G-Dragon role, and I'm loving it. So much swag, so much confidence. Go watch it, everybody.
That's so swag.
All right, last but not least, P-Lo.
Yeah. So it's DJ Hyo, or AKA Hyoyeon, and 3Lao, or 3. Oh God, I actually even know how to pronounce that guy's name, but the producer. And it's their song, Punk Right Now. I gotta say that Hyoyeon already found her voice from, the last few singles that we've heard from her.
Yeah.
But her attitude and swagger totally shines in this comeback for Punk Right Now. I love the way she rolls the R in reckless.
Yeah.
And the in the 3Lao production makes it sound like an epic banger for your peak hour sets.
Now, it seems like her attitude is the punk part of the song, right? There's not, like, musically, there's really not anything punk about it. It's
nor the lyrics, actually.
Right, right. But she's got
good.
the attitude. I mean, and so that's punk.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, great picks, everybody. I know Peter is really happy with this lineup that we have.
Absolutely. Good job,
like an
everyone.
all-star.
Good job.
Yeah, but we have to get into our review of Red Velvet's Really Bad Boy.
He's a really bad boy. Oh my God. He's a really bad boy. He's a really, 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 really bad boy. He's a bad.
All right, Michaela. It's called Really Bad Boy. I think we've heard another song by Red Velvet with a very similar title, Bad Boy, if I'm not mistaken. Are these two songs related?
Yes. Basically, yeah. Basically, the general answer is yes. I call this the repackage of a repackage because Bad Boy was the repackaged single from Peekaboo. The general message of Really Bad Boy is this story of a girl trying to seduce the bad boy in this sense, like, oh, I'm going to love you, I'm gonna make you not a bad boy anymore.
Yes.
And it kind of goes on this like trope of like, oh, I'm gonna get in this relationship and I'm going to change him for the better kind of deal.
That always works, right?
It's a trap. Ladies, don't do it.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
Yes.
Sorry.
So specific examples of this in the lyrics are, these days I'm in a panic situation and my head is filled with only thoughts of you. And then bang bang pow, he's a really bad boy.
Whoa.
They say he lives trusting only his handsome face. If it's all right with you, I'll try to tame you, boy.
Oh. Wait.
only lives
But
trusting
I
only-
gotta know at this point, like, do they actually tame the bad boy?
If you go by the visuals in the music video, possibly, but lyrically it's more of this just telling that story of like, oh, I'm going to start this relationship. Because in the contrast, like with Bad Boy, it was more about like taking control of the situation in the sense that, oh, I'm attracted to this bad boy, but I'm not gonna let him control me.
That sounds better.
I'm gonna let him just love me.
That's a better way to
And
go.
then with Really Bad Boy, it's all about coming back to that relationship and being like, oh, I'm gonna take control of you, and then I'm gonna make you better.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but every time like SM Entertainment does something
What was that?
about luring in a
That's
prospective
their other label.
mate, I always feel like they're trying to seduce by whipping into submission or something. I don't know that, but I feel like that's like a recurring theme from this entertainment K-pop label. Enough of that. Halloween in November. Steven, take it away. Is this...
It's crazy, right?
What's going on here?
Yeah, that's the first thing that struck me. When the teaser started coming out, they sort of had this horror concept to them, and I saw some people on Twitter, they thought they were joking, but saying, wouldn't it be a flex by Red Velvet to put out a Halloween song while everybody else is putting out their Christmas season music? And then the song came out, and it's not even sort of, horror-inspired or monster movie. I mean, it's a straight-up Halloween.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're flexing
got
on
that-
him hard.
Yeah.
It's like
It's a
we went to Spirit
Halloween.
Halloween store and
Yeah, there's a
spent
sign
about
in the background of the
$50.
graveyard that says Halloween Nightmare.
What?
Yeah.
And there's actual jack-o'-lanterns.
Yeah.
I mean, those aren't usually in graveyards, I don't think. So,
Unless it's October.
right. Which raises the question, how did it come about that Red Velvet releases a Halloween song November 30th? This actually
Yeah.
came out. So I've got two theories.
Okay.
Okay, let's hear it.
One of them is they heard the Kpopcast Halloween episode.
You're giving us
Yes.
way too
And
much
they were
credit.
I'm with
so upset that Twice took the title. They were like, no, that cannot happen. We have got to put out a better Halloween song.
They whip something up real quick.
Yeah. So that's one possibility.
Okay.
Yep, I like
The
it.
other thing is just that it was a straight up screw up. You know, people think that SM is this well-oiled machine. You know, they're cranking out the cultural technology. They got it all figured out. But I think back to, do you guys remember when Girls' Generation had their Mr. release was
Sure.
delayed by like 10 days?
Oh,
because
no.
they accidentally deleted some files. They were editing the video.
Oh no.
It's like, do you guys not back up? Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
You're making a Girls' Generation video. They had to reshoot scenes.
Oh gosh.
So,
Wow.
like, even SM, it can happen. I don't know how else you can. Surely they didn't plan. Like, when should we put out a Halloween song?
And then the producer who did that was never seen again.
Yeah,
locked in the dungeon.
he's playing the werewolf in this.
Okay.
Spoiler.
Well, that leads us to the second aspect of the video that's interesting, which is the bad boy is represented by a werewolf.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
And they don't do a lot with that, you know. I mean, there's a moon that's reasonably prominent. I'm thinking that just, you know, that we have plenty of zombies and vampires in K-pop. I tried to go back in history. So EXO's Wolf is
Yeah, I was going to say
a
that.
werewolf story, but beyond that, I couldn't really. Other than like a whole lot of fan fiction involving werewolves,
Oh, I can
I
only
didn't
imagine.
see a lot of werewolf.
I was
content.
Googling that earlier and don't do it.
Oh, no.
Do not do it. You get some very not safe for work stuff.
Oh,
Googling
man.
for those two terms.
I'm intrigued. So
Stephanie.
the thing about the werewolf is that it fits in with the whole campy, cheesy Halloween
Oh yeah.
theme,
Exactly.
in that it's an obviously fake dude in a werewolf costume who's running around in this like choppy, silly way. And the girls are kind of acting scared of him or trying to grab him and control him or just doing really comically slapstick movements with the werewolf. It reminded me of Twice Signal when they have the guy playing the alien boyfriend and he's silent and just hanging out and the girls are doing their thing around him. So
It's a good like Gonzo style way of filmmaking, right? You're
right,
seeing
I
it from that
couldn't
perspective
identify
of the
what
beast. Yeah.
Peter always has the answers of the official categorization of cinematography.
Sometimes, almost half the time. Yeah, they also had other film references in this visually, right? They had the Shining. You know what? So the Shining
Yep.
is this other scary horror film. So
Shiny?
The Shining.
Did someone? Oh,
Not to be
oh, man.
confused with Shiny. I
yeah.
think Shiny fans would be disappointed watching it. It's a very scary, very adult film. But in
Yeah.
it, in one scene, one of the main characters of the story, he's running through the halls of this haunted hotel, and he comes across these ghosts who are twins, and we see those same twins, except as Red Velvet members in this music video.
And that's my other theory why I think Red Velvet can get away with doing a Halloween release in November/December is because there are a lot of callbacks to not just Halloween, but these sort of horror films. And it's not necessarily just a callback to a time period or a season, but a callback to a film era. And that's something that you can do anytime.
Yeah. To me, like, this is, like, if we're looking at a spectrum for essence of K-pop, this is pretty high up there. Like, it is goofy, it's playful, and I think Red Velvet so often embodies the best of that. You know, it's this alternate fantasy reality.
So it reminds me of like in Russian roulette where they're all trying to kill each other, but it's this very Tom and Jerry sort of. It's not meant to be taken seriously. It's supposed to be comic, but it does have this sort of dark edge to it.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't think any other K-pop group has done that. At least none that I'm recollecting right now.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of horror-inspired stuff, but not that combination of comedy and
Aegyo violence.
murdering your fellow members.
That's a lot what Vix does.
Yeah.
New genre.
And Dreamcatcher.
Yeah,
And
that's
Dreamcatcher.
true.
Bam.
Yeah. Can I just say though, like, as a street male here, I thought their makeup looked really good. And also,
Yes.
like, Red Velvet may be a group of main visuals, But Wendy came to slay with her facial expressions in this song. Like, I felt like she embodied the essence of that girl who was trying to tame that boy. She was flirtatious, confident, and edgy in all her facial expressions. And there are times when you're like looking at scenes of the entire group, and Wendy may be off to the side, but my eye, or your eye,
It's
the watcher's eye.
It's true.
for
It's
yourself.
true, Peter. And you know, Wendy
Sorry,
has.
who's
There's
Wendy
a lot
again?
of. Oh my gosh!
No.
Stephanie, get out of here.
I feel like in so many of their previous videos, I think, what have they done to Wendy with the styling? It
Yeah.
just seems so unfair. But the last few, she's looked great.
Yeah.
What's her outfit?
She's
in the
I mean, she's got
music
the, like
video?
the pigtails and the green
Oh,
outfit.
they gave her the pigtails.
Yeah, I mean, like outfit,
Okay.
like it was okay, but
Her best
it's
outfit was the white, like the light pants and the green top
green.
that had the slits.
Oh.
in 'em.
Yeah.
Did she get the midriff bearing top?
I mean, they all did, right?
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
they all.
there's-
yeah,
there's a lot of crop top
abs of
going on.
steel. Like if you watch the live performance, it's just like abs.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
wow, what is their routine? Jeez.
Yeah, they're
I didn't notice that.
time to watch it again.
Oh, they're in shape. Yeah.
Wendy
I mean,
especially,
speaking of
yeah.
the thing I noticed, I was in charge of describing the outfits and coming up with a way to categorize them. And I would say that just like most K-pop outfits, they're flashy, they're
Yeah.
colorful, sparkly, and the high ponytails and the pigtails give it that silly vibe. But each of the outfits carries a dark or edgy element as well if you look closely. So you'll have the pigtails and green, but then you'll have like black boots, or you'll have a black leather jacket with shoulder pads. You have these big cross earrings with the Halloween theme. And then the makeup, as you pointed
That's
out,
right. I
Peter,
was
is
gonna bring that
a
up.
red eyeshadow for it's really a zombie inspired look that they kill, but it is more mature and dark.
They slay.
Slay.
Oh yeah.
Joy's red pants are amazing.
Woo! Get me some.
All right, well, let's turn it over to Rhodri, who sent in his recording on the audio. So let's give that a quick listen.
Red Velvet's Really Bad Boy is a great Red Velvet song. It does all the things we're used to in Red Velvet songs that make Red Velvet songs great songs. We've got a brass instrument playing the hook. We've got a pulsing electronic bass for the backdrop. We've got the vocals serving up an experimental dish of badass bravado, seasoned generously with Aegyo. When I saw the
Seasoned
title, I was
generously.
hoping for a sequel to the pulled back, softer, more velvety quality of their vocals in Bad Boy. But yeah, sorry, that was a really bad joke, by the way. I was hoping for the quiet sexiness of those jazzy arpeggios. And I was hoping for a drum kit with those hip hop hi-hats.
No.
I didn't really get what I was hoping for, of course, but was I disappointed? No, I was not disappointed. I'll admit the instrumentals were a little below average in my humble opinion. I really, it's totally subjective. Maybe they're great. But as always, and a big part of why I love Red Velvet, perhaps above all other girl groups, I might even go there, are the vocals. They are powerful. They're super powerful in this, just like they are in literally every other Red Velvet song. I mean, this isn't a huge surprise. Some stuff I loved about this song, the 4-part 7th chord harmony, and the use of a literal
ladies and
scream as a
gentlemen.
part of the music was an amazing idea. And I would be missing out if I didn't gush real quick about Seolgi and Wendy freaking riffing in the pre-choruses. Their vocals right there are the best part of this song. Anyway, RBB is great. Also, and one last thing,
One last thing.
Wendy's recording of Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas is the only Christmas song that matters, so be sure to play that lots this season.
Okay.
All right, bye.
Whoa, there's no ads here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll make that the bumper music for this episode.
Yeah, I want to just follow up on what he's talking about, the harmonies and the riffs and the pre-choruses and so on. I've heard some people complain that there's a lot of repetition in the song. And I feel like in some parts of the song, at least, the main vocal line, that's usually what you follow and it's the most important part of the song. But I think in some parts of the song, it forms a base for the vamps and the ad libs and the backing vocal harmonies, and that those are really the most important parts. And so even though it's repetitive, you can compare it to sort of a bass line or the beat. It's not really the most important part of certain sections of the song.
Two things that really stood out to me in the song were, one, the brass that Rhodri mentioned earlier. I mean, that's less common sound that we hear in K-pop. And then two, the scream. So she screams, and then like the music like harmonizes with that scream.
Who was doing that?
That's Irene.
Irene.
Yes,
Nicely done.
everybody, including me, assumed it was Wendy, but actually there's a variety show that when I was trying to figure out who did the scream that actually reminded me of that came up when I was searching, and that I'd seen before, where she's, the thing where you touch something and you can't see what it is. And Irene let out this scream, and everybody just hit the ceiling. It was like, what have you done? So Irene, that is legitimately what Irene sounds like when she screams.
Wow.
Every time.
But what's really cool about it is that they use it, like you said, Peter, they use it as part of the music. It's like a note. There's a few songs I can think of where a scream is used as a sound effect, but I can't think of any other where it's actually used as part of the music.
Yeah.
And then it returns kind of in the way that Wendy does her ad libs in the last two lyrics of Really Bad Boy, where she goes up at the very end of the word.
I just had a quick question. So at the very beginning of the song, like right before they go into the first verse, they do a countdown or count up. Like it goes 1, 2, 5. And I was just curious, like, does that have any meaning?
I'm glad you brought that up. I love that. And I have no idea what that means, but I know what I think it means.
Okay.
Okay.
So this is like related to Red Velvet putting out a Halloween song during Christmas time. Red Velvet does whatever they want, right? How do most groups count? 1, 2, 3, 4.
Right.
Red Velvet, they don't stop at 4. They go to 5. Not only that, they're on 5 while you're still at 3. They just do whatever they want. 1, 2, 5. If you notice, there's another part of the song where they just count to 1 over and over.
They also, I'm thinking back in Rookie, they do that count-in, except they go to 3.
They're not bound by arithmetic and numbers. They can just say whatever numbers they want.
Anyway, we were talking about that scream and how iconic it was in the music, but I felt like when it comes to the actual dancing and the choreography, they had moments to showcase that. There's like a lot of like visual onomatopoeias, so to speak, right? So there are moments where they, we often see in K-pop where everyone gets into a single line and you can only see the person out in front, and then you'll have people in the back move their arms out and extend off of that single person. Right. In this, we had them all sort of like break out to the side, and we had, oh gosh, I'm forgetting which member it was, but she screams out like she's leaning out of a window and screaming with her hands, saying, "Oh my God," to coincide with the "Oh my God" in the lyrics. We see other times where they have a very strong banging, like they're banging on an imaginary surface, which also coincides with the "bang bang pow" in the lyrics.
Right.
So I mean that was fun. It goes in that style with that cutesy aegyo look that Red Velvet often has, but on the whole, and on this note of like taming a bad boy, it's very confident and sexy with all the hip sways they have in it. Like my favorite gesture in all of the choreography is when they have that usual shouting gesture with their hand to their mouth that we've seen a lot of K-pop. They have that, and then they have their other hand on their hip and they're swaying their hips during the chorus, and that I really love. Okay, well, I think that covers it. We've covered the message, the lyrics, the concepts, the visuals, and the choreography. I think it's time to give our final scores.
Whoa!
Oh, already?
Yeah, I think so. All right, so for the concept, for everything visual, 1 being the lowest and 5 being the highest, how would you rate it, Steven? we'll hit it your way first.
Well, this is a tough one. I'm going to go 3.5. It was a pretty straightforward concept. They switched it up a little bit with the werewolf and with the actual not scary werewolf with the hand puppets and the baby werewolf and so on. So I'll go 3.5.
This one is a solid 4 from me.
Whoa.
Yeah, mostly because, like I said, this is a repackage of a repackage, and it builds off of those same concepts that you saw in like Rookie and Russian Roulette and Bad Boy. And those are all just solid concepts for me, so it's a solid 4.
Yeah, for me, I would say it's a solid 3. It's so low budget, you guys. They went to the Spirit Halloween store and just like spent $50 on stuff.
Oh, but that's the charm. That's the charm.
Sure, it's charming. Yeah. But yeah, it's cute, but it doesn't like hit it out of the park for me.
It's cute, but no.
3.2, I guess, for me.
Yeah.
Absolutely kitschy, but Wendy slays and saves it. So 3.2 for me on the concept. Audio, 1 being the lowest, 5 being the highest for purely the song and the sound aspects of the song.
I'm going to go 4.2.
Wow.
I don't think Red Velvet can possibly get below a 4. The scream was really an interesting touch, and all the, as I said, the ad libs and the vamping in the background was cool. The vocal performance was just great. So 4.2.
I'm actually gonna give this a 3. It just came out for me. I'm still listening to it. So, and Red Velvet is always one of those groups where I listen to it over and over again, and I begin to love it more. So maybe that'll change, but right now it's still just a 3.
I don't find it to be that memorable or unique. I think 2.8 for me.
Oh, wow.
As you might know from prior episodes, I'm not a fan of the brass and this whole theme. Who was it again? Irene, the high note?
Yeah.
That takes it from 2.5 to 2.8 for me. That was cool. All right, and finally, Pilo,
Yeah,
audio.
it's a 3. It's not Red Velvet's best. Bad Boy was a very unique Velvet sound that we got from them, and this doesn't give homage to that in the song or build on it. So it's, just a 3 for me. All right, so guys, it's that time for us to give our absolute final score, our thumbs up, our thumbs down on the song as a whole. So taking, go ahead, Stephanie.
This is my job.
Yeah.
No. So, taking all of this into account, was Red Velvet's really, really, really bad boy
Really, really.
Daebak or not? Steven?
It'll surprise you. I'm going to go with Daebak.
Oh my gosh. Why do we bring you on this show? No, just kidding. It's exactly for that. We love you.
Exactly.
All right. Michaela?
Oh, of course, Daebak.
right.
It's Red Velvet.
Okay, we put the 2 stands first. I gotta counter this. It's a not for me.
Yeah.
I just don't.
Yeah, I don't think you're alone in that, Stephanie.
I'm not attached to Red Velvet. I can't even say the members. Wendy, Silgi.
Okay, don't say that
I'm
on
at a
the
loss.
internet, Stephanie. You might
I don't
get issues
Bring
later.
it, y'all. Bring it on.
Okay.
I can name all of BTS.
All right.
Anyway.
You got the army on your side, at least. For me, it's definitely Daebak. It's kitschy and fun in all the best ways. All right. That wraps it up for Red Velvet's really bad boy. You heard it from us on the Kpopcast. Time for some listener feedback.
The past couple weeks, we've had some great listener feedback on our recent K-pop Hot Issue episodes. And also, as usual, be sure to join us for our K-pop Twitter chats run bi-weekly on Tuesdays using the hashtag KPopChat.
Recently, we discussed everyone's favorite winter holiday K-pop songs and concepts. Boy with the Lips says, I was listening to Dear Santa by TTS. Woo-cha! those harmonies and high notes, living.
That's
Living.
at Welly_21.
Yeah. So Lainey, aka Ame Ame Sakura, answered our K-pop chat question with, "I love this performance of Merry and Happy from Twice. Their adorable outfits featuring cute Christmas-themed accessories that aren't over the top is perfect for me." Aw, just perfect for all of us.
And I know that somebody brought up Crayon Pop on the chat too.
That was
Oh,
for you,
yeah.
Steven. That was me. I was totally
Iconic.
You're not going to quote
Outed.
yourself on the K-pop cast.
Caught.
yeah. Lonely Christmas is the best
Oh.
K-pop Christmas song. We've got
I
a playlist
can't believe
on
it's time for
Spotify.
the holidays.
Yeah. It's that
you
time.
guys.
I'm behind on Christmas shopping. But if you need music to listen to in that K-pop spirit, we've got a playlist going, so we'll hyperlink that in the show notes. The Kpop Cast is produced by Peter Lowe, Stephanie Parker, Ariana Khan, and edited by yours truly and Michaela J. Ariana and Stephanie lead the Kpop chat, and Ramen Mon runs our Instagram.
And also, if you are not already aware, we have the king of Red Velvet fandom on the show today. Steven, you have an amazing podcast, Kpop Unmuted.
thank you.
All of you should subscribe and check it out.
And of
Yeah,
course, don't
definitely.
forget to rate, review, subscribe, and tell your friends about the K-pop cast. You can tell them all that it's the second best K-pop podcast
Whoa.
on the entire internet.
Wait, we invite you, and this is what we get.
All right.
No, we love you, Steven.
Yeah.
Even if you host the second best
Samesies.
podcast about K-pop. All right, so signing off, let our listeners know where they can find you online and which idol you think is in that werewolf costume. Steven, kick us off.
So you can find me on Twitter at Tennessee Appeal. And in my opinion, it would have to be Chinese Minho. If you've ever seen him on Running Man, that dude is a predator. I'm telling you.
Whoa, shots fired. Oh. I need to check this out. Can you link me these videos?
Yeah, you did not want Minho chasing you.
Wow,
All right.
what a start.
Michaela?
Well, you can find me at Michaela J Kpop on Twitter, and for me, it has to be Soooo from EXO because everybody knows he's the biggest Red Velvet fanboy. So if anybody beats stalking them, it'd be him.
Stephanie?
Yeah, so I'm going to pick another EXO member, Kai, because
Ooh.
back in the old days with Wolf, he just killed that choreo. It makes me want to go watch it right now. He just turns into the wolf, so I would not be surprised Kai's in that costume. So last but not least, P-Lo.
That's
Who
right.
is it?
Yeah, it's the original
Will
Bad
he pick
Boy.
someone not in SM?
Yeah, it's the original Bad Boy. Ladies, girls and boys, ladies and gentlemen, it's Rain.
Oh my
Rainism.
gosh.
He's gonna be a
I
bad
thought
boy,
about that.
bad boy, or bad boy.
boy.
Yeah.
Bad boy.
So you can find me at DJ Peterlo on Twitter as well. Don't forget to tell us your answer by tweeting at us at the Kpopcast. And thank you all. Thank you, Stephen, for joining us for this episode.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
See ya.
Have yourself a merry little Christmas. Let your heart be light. From now on, your troubles will be miles away. Here we are, as in olden days, happy golden days of yore. Faithful friends who are dear to us, gather near once more.
At Boy with the Lips says, I was listening to Dear Santa by TTS. Woo! Chilly. Those harmonies and high notes.
Oh, do that again. It's Woo Child, like
Oh,
child.
Will Child has a D?
That got me too.
Yeah.
I thought it was like the country.
No, yeah.
Okay.
Woo Child. All right, do it again.
Have yourself a merry little Christmas.